This is question 9 from the review. Y equals 1.5 tangent parentheses 2x parentheses. So the first step is to label A, B, C, D. So the A stands for amplitude, which would be 1.5. B is for the period. We'll find the period by using 2. C, the C and the D would be none because there's no shift in the x-axis, which could be told by if there was a number plus or minus from the x in the parentheses. But to find period, we have to unfold the 2 from the 2x. So it would be y equals 1.5 tangent 2 parentheses x. And then to find the actual period, you would need to do pi divided by 2. You're going to use pi because it's a tangent graph. And then for the critical point, you're going to divide that by 4, which would be pi over 8. Back to the C and D, those are the x-axis and y-axis movement. Since there's no movement, it's going to be none and none. So now we're going to label the critical points on the graph. The amplitude is going to be the highest, not the highest point in where the graph's going to go, but the point that you're going to label on the y-axis. And since there's no movement in the x-axis or the y-axis, there's no movement on the y-axis, so there's not going to be a change in the middle. Let me finish labeling this real quick. Alright, the next step is to find the know the pattern to graph the tangent. So for tangent, it's middle, high, asymptote, low, medium, high, asymptote. So the first point is going to be at 0, which is the medium, which is the x-axis. Then you're going to point high at pi over 8, and then the asymptote at pi over 4. Then you're going to do low again and 3 pi over 8, and middle again on pi over 2. Then you're going to go to the opposite side and finish graphing. So it's going to be negative pi. It's going to be low on negative pi over 8, asymptote on pi over 4, then high on negative 3 pi over 8, and middle on negative pi over 2. After you graph the asymptotes, you're done with graphing. Now you're gonna have to find the domain and range. So to find domain, you would need to figure out what's the period, which you already did by using the b value, which is pi over 2. And that's going to be what's attached to the x. So it's going to be pi over 2x, as you can see. So you see the distance between the two asymptotes is pi over 2. So you're going to write pi over 2x. Oh yeah, but before that you're going to make sure x does not equal that, because it's equaling all those points except for that asymptote. So now you're going to write pi over 2x, and then you're going to plug in numbers to see how you can get the asymptote. So by plugging in 0, all you do is minus pi over 4. And then, so 0 times pi over 2 is 0, minus pi over 4 is negative pi over 4. Plug in 1. 1 times pi over 2 is pi over 2. Minus pi over 4 is pi over 4. So you know x cannot equal pi over 2x minus pi over 4. For the range, you know that it's all real numbers, because it's going, the 1.5 is not the high point, like the highest point. It's just telling you for the pattern how it's gonna be. But it's gonna keep getting closer. You can keep going all the way up. So it's all real numbers, and it's all also going all the way down. That's what the arrows represent on the tangent graph when you're drawing the line. The next step is to find the zeros, and you're gonna do that by knowing the period. So it's pi over 2. If there's no shift in the x-axis, it's probably gonna be pi over 2x. And if there is, you're gonna do the same thing how you found the asymptote equation. Just plug in and fill out. So you know it's pi over 2x, since there's no shift. And it happens every pi over 2x. You can check this again. 0 times pi over 2 is 0. Pi over 2 times 1 is pi over 2. Negative 1 times pi over 2 is negative pi over 2. That's where it hits the graph, or hits the x-axis. The next step is to find the asymptote, which we already did when we found the domain, which is the pi over 2x minus pi over 4. So that's the asymptote.
I'm sexy and I know it.